Sitaram Yechury, Madhyamangale Kananu Talisamay.
With the same note, with one note being used for this. So therefore we have listed out, at least I have listed out 14 questions which need to be answered. And normally we would demand a white paper, but since this is all about the Prime Minister's fight against black money, I think there should be a black paper on demonetization that should be issued, where all these 14 questions need to be answered by the Prime Minister. Who was the first one as who decided on this demonetization exercise? This has been a bone of contention in the Parliament. The Minister during the debate had said that this was a decision of the RBI. The RBI, when it deposed before the Parliamentary Committee, said that they were informed that the government is going to take this action. Their opinion was asked and then they responded. A breach of privilege motion was filed by me against the Minister for misleading the House. Now, since I am no longer an MP and since the then chairman who admitted the breach of privilege is no longer the chairman, I do not know what will be the fate of that breach of privilege. But that breach of privilege is there on the records. So we'd like to know, and if that is the reason why Mr. Raghuram Rajan was eased out as the RBI chairman. Number two, there are more than 100 people. One estimate puts it at 103, one puts it at 120, but more than 100 definitely have died in the queues, in the ATMs, and to withdraw their own money. There's been not a paisa of compensation offered by the government. Not an FIR filed as to who is responsible for these deaths. Third, it is now clear that more than 100% of the demonetized notes will come back. This is not accounting for the roughly around 16,000 crores that could not come back into the banking system by even legitimate people. Every one of us knows of the fact that there are NRIs who would leave their cash here. They keep coming back regularly, but they could not come back in time to change those notes. Apart from this, through now Bhutan, Nepal, cooperative banks, the various other areas, they still have to come back. Legally they can. It's clear it may be more than 100%. In which case, what does this mean? That this has been a very, very successful money laundering scheme. And this has been a legitimate manner in which corruption has been taken to much higher levels. Fourthly, in Bengal and elsewhere, we have had instances, cases with proof of how BJP had deposited old currency notes hours before the Prime Minister announced the demonetization. Was this a pre-decided thing so that the BJP can gain at the advantage of other political parties? If this is not corruption, what else is it? And what is this great talk of the Prime Minister from the Red Fort saying that there is a crusade against corruption? And he talked about 3 lakh crores of black money coming back, or having unearthed the 3 lakh crores of black money. And now we know what it means. Fifth, the entire issue of digital economy, of forcing the people to move to digitization, which is what the Finance Minister now is saying was the main reason for this demonetization. That was not one of the reasons said by the Prime Minister when he announced demonetization. But the subsequent change of the goalposts, shifting of the goalpost, was meant to actually provide bonanza for your digital transaction companies, both foreign and domestic. The Prime Minister himself was there in a front page ad of the Paytm. And in fact, I remember in the Parliament I said instead of Jai Hind, the Prime Minister is now shouting Jio Hind. He was there in the ads of Jio So, I mean, is this a clear profit to these companies at the expense of the Indian people? Now, sixthly, was this an exercise? We want the answer. Was this an exercise to cover up the fact that the government is refusing to go after mega corporates who have taken loans from our nationalized banks and not repaying them? The case of Vijay Mallya and Kingfisher is there for all to see. Not one paisa has been recovered. The estimates are that nearly 11 lakh crores of rupees, including interest,